Welcome to the show. I'm just going to put my phone on silent. How are you today? Oh, that's awfully pretty. I feel like I need to turn it down, like I'm looking at the sun. How you doing today? Welcome to Today at the Euros, brought to you by the Football Fan Show. And I'm Danny, the regular host of the show. And, yeah, I don't know what my hair's doing today. It's just meh, there. It's there, which I suppose I can be thankful for. How you doing today? What a day it has been. Yes, I am a lot cheerier today than I was yesterday after the disappointing England result. And maybe I ripped into them a bit too much. I've had a bit of feedback, let's say. Not criticism, feedback. I don't, feedback, criticism. I view it as feedback, not criticism. But let's just say some people were not too... They didn't share my opinion of me thinking England were crap and didn't try. However, today has made me feel rather good about myself and about England's chances, because last night I would have thought, yeah, you know what? They ain't got a bloody chance. But today, we have seen the world champions drop points to Hungary. Spain have less points than Slovakia. And we've also seen Germany absolutely spank the defending European champions. So, I'm feeling rather good about myself. I am feeling rather good about myself and England's chances. I don't have a French shirt. That is the theme of today. Not that my t-shirts have themes, but I have a Spain shirt. I have a Latvia shirt. I have a couple of England shirts, obviously, being English. I do not have a French shirt, so this is it. This is my ode to France. A Daft Punk t-shirt. One of their album covers. I don't really want the French to do well, so whenever they fail, I'll laugh. So yes, phone lines are open if you want to give us a call and talk about the Euros. 0333 303 4145. Standard network rates apply, and you can Skype us as well. It's the Dead Air Media on Skype. So if you want to find us there. So yes, it has been an interesting day in the football, and we're going to get into it. In a bit, we are running our poll, asking for your game of the day, and we'll go through the options. Obviously, the three games that have been played today. Gets a bit complicated now because all the games are being played concurrently. So they're all the group games are being played all the matches in each group are being played at the same time. So this is the interesting bit. England play again on Tuesday. Can't wait for that one. I sound very pessimistic. I mean, you can't play great football all the time. That's what's been pointed out to me. But can't I just demand that they play great football all the time? Can't I just demand it? If I demand it, it must happen. So, if I demand it, it must happen. Yes, there we go. So yes, he's been sniffing again. So we'll chat about him in a bit. Let's talk about the games today. Starting with Euro 2020, of course. We're going to try and bring a usual football fan show tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's start with the earlier game, which was from Group F. It was Hungary versus France. Right, I just want to check. What are tomorrow's fixtures? They're both Group A matches. So So tomorrow there are two matches, both at 5 o'clock. That's going to be an odd Sunday. And then Group B and C play on Monday. And then Tuesday, England are in action in Group D. Group E and F on Wednesday. So by Wednesday, I'm going to be stopped doing daily streams, which is fantastic. A bit of a break for me, because these are somewhat. No, they're not a chore. I did think about not doing one today. I gotta be honest. Let's review. Let's see if I can do anything about the lighting, because I'm looking like Casper the unfriendly ghost here. Well, I'm looking like his cousin, which is not very good. Hi. Let's have a chat then. Starting with today's games. And we start with the earlier one, where the world champions were held to a draw by Hungary. Well, before we get started, actually, I'll jump over to Twitter and tell you about the poll, which, of course, is your game of the day. Now, I've got to be honest, I didn't watch the France-Hungary game, but 80% of you are already going with Portugal-Germany, which has probably been the game of the tournament so far. 20% of you going with the Spain-Poland game. It had a lot of drama in it, sure. Whether that drama is entertaining, I don't know, but they played well, Poland, very much. It's been the day of the underdog, really, and I can't believe I'm using the term underdog for the Germans. But yeah, they've been particularly poor most of the. Well, they looked poor at the beginning of that match, and it looked like Joachim was going to crash out of his last tournament and be sniffing his fingers at home. But alas, they won. They won, and we'll get into it. But your game of the day at the moment, with 66.7% of the vote, it's Germany 4, Portugal 2. You have 37 minutes left to vote on that one. Let's start with the earlier game then. And Antoine Griezmann rescued a point for France and denied Hungary their one of the biggest European Championship upsets in the history of the whole damn competition, in front of their home crowd as well. So, don't know what my green screen's doing here. Stay put. Still better graphics in GB News. Still better graphics in GB News, let's be honest. Antoine Griezmann rescuing a point for France, denying Hungary one of their biggest wins in Europe. In front of I think it's about 66,000 people that can fit out the Puskás Arena in Budapest. I mean, Hungary have definitely. I mean, I'd say they've had the home field advantage. They held on against Portugal for long enough until the 83rd minute when they finally conceded. Today, though, tasty atmosphere. Attilia Fiola, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, fingers crossed, fired Hungary into the lead, destroying a journalist's desk, by the way. I think it was one of the Hungarian TV presenters. They were sat at a desk, pitch side, writing notes, and he goes up to them and destroys their notes. What a bastard. Not deliberately, of course. Not deliberately. Well, I don't know if it was deliberate, but heck, the journalist that was there, or the presenter that was there, may have enjoyed it. She may have enjoyed it. I don't know. She looked more scared shitless, to be honest, from the pictures I saw, with the entire Hungarian team and the fans looking like they were about to fall down the stadium onto the pitch. It was, yeah. Anyway, Hungary led just before the break as he held off the French defence to slot one home with Roland Salai. I'm not going to say Salai. Let's go with Salai. Sorry, shit with names still. The goal was met by one of the loudest. Of course, it was loudest cheers. It was on home turf in front of 66,000. Of course, it's going to be loud. They may have made a tiny earthquake tonight in Budapest. Someone get the Richter scale, measure it. I hope somebody was measuring it, because they may have caused an earthquake with the amount of noise generated in the Puskás Arena. Just makes you want to be at a football ground. That kind of moment. It just makes you want to be at a football ground and enjoy that kind of moment, because it makes me miss football. It makes me miss it so much. Anyway, we read on. World champions France tipped as many people's tournament. I think they're just the problem is that France are just default everybody's favourites. They're not my favourites because I never want the French to win anything because they're French. And plus, their arrogance really showed when they got that equaliser. They say they say the Brits are arrogant. I think the French are the most arrogant people in Europe, my personal opinion. Not that I'm a Francophile. Viola, it actually says in the article, Viola banged a pitchside reporter's table and knocked items off before his teammates embraced some of the fans in the front row. I love that. Obviously, yeah, back to the world champions, Les Bleus. Les Bleus, tipped by many as the favourites to win by default, because they're world champions, had dominated the first half with Kylian Mbappe in lively form once again before that goal. I think, were Germany the favourites in Euro 2016 by default because they'd won the 2014 World Cup and absolutely spanked Brazil in that semi-final? Because, let's face it, Joachim Löw has been living off that World Cup semi-final for the last couple of years. Because he should have been sacked, let's face it. He should have been sacked at some point. But, you know, that's just what happened. I'm trying to work out whether... Yeah, he's definitely been dining off. What was it, 7-2, 7-1, 7-2 against Brazil in the World Cup semi-final on home turf? I can't remember the precise score, but they absolutely spanked them. And I just remember kind of laughing. Because David Luiz put in one of the worst performances of his career. Not that I dislike David Luiz. It was just a funny moment to see Brazil, one of the greatest teams ever. They've always got world-class players, get absolutely annihilated by the most technically efficient side at the World Cup in 2014. Back to 2021 and Euro 2020, which is confusingly still the title and not Euro 2021. The first substitute, Ousmane Dembele, hit the post, and then when his Barcelona teammate Griezmann equalised, Mbappe ran in to hug Hugo Lloris. No, he didn't. Mbappe ran onto Hugo Lloris. Is a huge... let me start again. Hi, I'm Danny Harrington. Welcome. I'll start the whole stream again because I can't fucking say a sentence. Mbappe ran onto Hugo Lloris's huge kick down the field, laying it off with the aid of a slight deflection for Griezmann to slot home in from 8 yards. There you go. Finally fucking said it. Don't at me in the chat. The atmosphere was electric, but neither side got a winner, and it's a point apiece. And I'm delighted for Hungary. Fantastic. It makes me feel a little bit better about the Scotland result for England, because if, Hungary were up for it, they played brilliantly. And if the world champions can essentially drop 2 points to a team that they should have, on paper, are far superior to, much like England with Scotland, that makes me feel better. Also with Poland and Spain, because Spain, on paper, should absolutely annihilate Poland. And yet, Poland got a point. And actually, Poland have some very good players. You forget it's not just Robert Lewandowski. You forget. You think Poland, they've only got Lewandowski. And they've got quite a few players. They brought in a 17-year-old who has already replaced Jude Bellingham as the youngest player to ever play at a European Championships. And that 17-year-old, I can't say his name because I don't know it. But apparently, I was hearing on the commentary that he made his first team debut at the age of 15. Fuck's sake. Oh, this is actually Coca-Cola. And it's in a Coca-Cola glass. So, if you can, Coca-Cola, sponsor me. In fact, actually, let's make sure the European Championships are happy with us, so we can hopefully get some nice sponsorship money. Let's get some nice sponsorship money from the Euros. That's what I want. Oh, there should have been a PNG there. That should have been a PNG. It was not. It had a stupid background. Can we put this one in? Nope, they're not PNGs. No! You fucking idiot. Bloody thing. Oh well. I can't appease the sponsors. Obviously, we have a TikTok account, and the Euros is sponsored by TikTok this year. So hopefully, I was trying to put a Coke bottle on my screen so that I could get that sweet Euro money from Coca-Cola. No, apparently no. Apparently we're not allowed to. Well, the PNG file is not actually a PNG file, so that's annoyed me. But I will work out a way to do it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to punch the microphone there. Let's try and do it. Now let's try and do it. There we go. That's what I needed. And I'll just plot it here so everybody knows that we're sponsored by Coca-Cola and Original Source. Can we get a bottle of Heineken, please? Because they also sponsor the Euros, and we will need that sweet Heineken sponsorship money. So throughout the rest of the tournament, we're just going to have a bottle of Coca-Cola, and I suppose I can have this on the stream. I hope I can. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed, but we'll find out. We'll find out if I get a banning order from Twitch. Oh, that's not worked either. Right, anyway, yeah, so it finished France 1. It's finished Hungary 1, France 1. In a fantastic performance for Hungary. They'll dine on that for a number of years as well. So good for them, good for them. And in the second game of the day, we had the brilliance of Germany and Portugal playing in the greatest game of the day. And hang on, I just want to copy the Coke bottle. So because there's always two of them. What is it? One's Coca-Cola Zero, isn't it? Where is it? There it is. Zero sugar. That's the one I want. That's the picture I want. I want that picture. Give me the picture. Give me that. Give me that. Give me the picture. You bastards. You bastards. Why can't I do... So yes, the second game of the day. It's been a day for upsets, hasn't it? Even when Germany are the underdogs going into a game, you think something's up. But you know what? Germany... What did they say about Germany in tournament football? So I love the fact that the commentary team were pointing out that, Joachim Low only really stayed in the job because he promised to bring through the next generation of talent. And then when that didn't work, he just went, you know what, I'm just going to call the superstars that were in my team from like the 2014 World Cup, I'm going to call them back into the squad. And I'm going to have them in the squad. There we go. Here we go. That shall we make it bigger? Hang on. Come on. There we go. Heineken. Coca-Cola bottle. Let's make that one bigger as well. Come on, there we go. And then we need to make the Coca-Cola Zero one bigger. Can we make that one bigger, please? Thank you. Thank you. Coke, Heineken, sponsor me. Thank you very much. Right, on with the rest of the stream. Sorry, I was distracted by that. It finished Portugal 2, Germany 4 in this one. So Germany got off the mark in Euro 2020 for the first, well, the less said about the France game, the better. They tore Portugal a new one. They tore them a new one with an impressive attacking performance at home in Munich at the Munich Stadion, I suppose they have to call it, instead of the Allianz Arena, because, sponsorship. Unless it was called the Heineken or the Coca-Cola Stadium, or if I had my way, the Original Source, brought to you by Joachim Low. for minty fresh balls when you go for that cheeky scratch and sniff. So, with that said, right. I'm locking those 3 bottles in place. That's what I want. Right, fantastic. I'm happy. Although there's a white, I don't know what that is. There's like a square around the Heineken bottle, I think. God dang it. God dang it, Heineken bottle. God dang it. I have to get rid of that. I'll try and get rid of that. Hang on. There we go. That's the one you want. That's the one you want. There you go. Right, anyway. Yeah, Coca-Cola, Heineken, call me. I have no, I don't care about telling kids to drink water. I drink plenty of Coke, and I don't mind Heineken. I mean, I don't drink it. My dad used to drink it. I tried Heineken when I was 14. Anyway, that's not good. That's not good for branding, though. Germany win. The Germans win means both sides now sit on 3 points, and one behind group leaders France, who are on 4. Obviously, they got their draw with Hungary, 1-1. Atalanta wingback Robin Gosens was the architect with a goal and an assist, earning an ovation at the Allianz Arena, or the Stadion Munich, or Munich Stadium, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, as he was replaced after the hour mark. Cristiano Ronaldo had put the visitors ahead, contributing to his record-breaking campaign with the most amount of goals in European Championship history, now having scored his 12th in the competition. Not this competition, I mean across his European, all the Euros that he's played at, his 12th goal in Euros history. But 2 own goals. Yeah, see, Portugal were the down. They destroyed themselves here, because Portugal's 2 own goals in the space of 5 minutes flipped an entertaining encounter into an enthralling encounter in Germany's favour, as first Ruben Diaz and then Rafael Guerrero turned it into their own net. I know I initially thought Germany had just banged in 2 goals, and then I saw the replay and was like, oh no, he's put it in his own net. So that means that Portugal were 2-1 down, and yet they had scored all 3 goals. That is not a good day at the office if you're Portugal. 2-1 down, and yet you were the team that scored all 3 goals. Fantastic play from Portugal. The influential Gosens laid on the 3rd immediately after the break, with an inviting ball that allowed Kai Havertz to tap in from close range before heading in Germany's 4th himself. Diogo Jota poked in Cristiano Ronaldo's cutback, but the defending champions were unable to mount a comeback. Germany hosts Hungary in the final game. So Hungary have played all their games at home thus far, and the only game that they won't play at home is the most important one. But I imagine quite a few Hungarians might just be jumping across the Austrian border and then jumping across the Bavarian border into the city of Munich, I can imagine. But a fantastic atmosphere today at Hungary. And Portugal faced the world champions, so it'll be the European champions versus the world champions. And oh boy, if Portugal could beat France and knock them out, I would be the happiest person in the world. I would just be so happy. I would be so happy if Portugal were able to do it and they were able to knock France out of this competition. If they could do it, please, Portugal, please, pray to the footballing gods, because I want to see Portugal knock France out of the Euros. I would give anything. Even the sponsorship money from Coca-Cola or Heineken. I would do anything. I would do anything for France to be knocked out of this competition. Oh no, we have been knocked out. That's what you get for being cocky little shits, you freaking French. Sorry. Francophobia coming through, live and clear. They're the only ones I don't like. It's just the French. I don't like the French. They're just so arrogant and rude. Sorry, personal experience talking. Let's look. Robert Lewandowski scored his first goal of Euro 2020 as Poland held Spain to keep their chances alive of reaching the knockout phases. And Poland knew that a defeat would mean Amskray, done, exit stage left for these European Championships from Group E. And they did fall behind. At the end of the first half, Alvaro Morata's close-range finish was given by VAR after initially being ruled out for offside. That was on the 25th minute for that one. Moreno with the assist for that. And Manchester City forward Ferran Torres headed wide as Spain pushed in the closing stages of the first half, whilst Morata was denied from point-blank range as Poland's goalkeeper Wojtek Szczesny. Late on, it was a penalty. He had a penalty. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. Manchester's, instead of reading what I've just read, but too often their play was predictable and lacking in urgency. To be fair, in stoppage time, like the 93rd, 94th minute, Spain needing a goal to win the game, and they're just passing it around the back like they're playing Sunday League football. It's like, hiya, mate, you want the ball? Okay. That's how England played against Scotland. It really pissed me off. So I can only imagine how annoyed the Spanish fans would be. And they played at home. They played in Seville. I can imagine the Spanish fans being incredibly annoyed by their team's sudden desire to go, do you want the ball? Oh, okay, I'll pass it to you. I want the ball. Can you pass it to me? Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to just pass it to you. And then you're going to pass it back to me. And then I'll pass it to you. And then, oh, the game's over. We needed a goal. Oh, shit. And that was Spain and England's performance. Spain suffering from what England suffered from. Laziness. At the end of the game. To be fair, at least Spain got a fucking goal in their match. Yeah, too often their play was predictable. It was lacking in urgency. Reminds me of England. And the draw means the three-time European champions are still without a win in Euro 2020 as they head in, as obviously they had a goalless draw against Sweden, and now head into a match with Slovakia, who have one more point than Spain. This is the group, right? Spain's group is the group. Group E is the group where it's going to be interesting to see who finishes third and to see whether that third place team gets into the last 16, because the four best third place teams go through. And I think, was it Portugal 4 years ago that got 3 draws and then still got through? I think it was Portugal who then went on to win the competition. I think it was Portugal that got 3 draws and then still went on to fucking win because they're that damn good. In Euro 2016. I've got to find that out. But it'll be interesting to see who gets the third place in that group. It's going to be interesting to see because obviously if it's Spain, then Jesus Christ, if the I think the Dutch play the team that finishes third in this group. It's insane. Like, you can have a quality game there. Quality game. And I'm just trying to remember who was it that got through from the third place after draw. It was Portugal. Yeah, they drew all 3 games. I was right. Because Iceland finished ahead of them. And Hungary won that group. So, yeah, it was Portugal that finished third in that group after drawing all 3 games. So it was enough. So maybe Spain could draw... against Slovakia, which would pretty much put Slovakia through unless Poland won. Actually, no, because they don't do it on goal difference. It's a head-to-head, isn't it? So Slovakia would get through with a point against Spain, and maybe Spain, it might be enough for them because it would be goal difference that decides who are the 4 best third-place teams. So that could be enough. A point could be enough for Spain to head through. I mean, no Spanish fan will take a point, but it could be enough. It could be. That's what I'm saying. It could be enough. No Spanish fan is taking a point against Slovakia. Slovakia versus Spain in the final game. Sweden have a trip to, I believe, St. Petersburg next. And they will face Poland. And Poland could beat Sweden because Sweden have not impressed at this tournament. They have not impressed at all. And with players like Robert, and with, the one, everyone thinks, as I said, everyone thinks Poland's a one-man team with like Robert Lewandowski, but they've got some good players. They've got Klich, who plays for Leeds. They've got Moda as well, who's a good player. I still rate Wojtek Szczesny in goal. I still think he's a good goalkeeper, even though he didn't necessarily have the brightest time at Arsenal. But yeah, I genuinely believe Poland can beat Sweden in that final game. So yes, that's pretty much the second phase of all. That is the second games of all the group matches done and dusted then. So let me go back to my poll, which has 12 minutes left to vote on it, where you can vote for your game of the day. And 50% of you have gone with Germany 4, Portugal 2. 37.5% of you going with Spain 1, Poland 1. And 12.5% of you going with France 1, Hungary 1. That, I think, the France-Hungary game wins. I've never seen more emotion at this tournament than that game. That emotion wins. That drama, that emotion, that might just be enough for it to win game of the day. But Poland won, Spain won in second place, but the clear game of the day, the game of the tournament thus far, is currently winning with 50% of the vote, 4-2 to Germany against Portugal. Right, let's bring you more news in and around the European Championships then. Not just focusing on that. And I read somewhere, and I believe it was Sky Sports News, that Roberto Mancini has come out and compared the Welsh team to Stoke City. Hi, Stoke City. It's rare you get a mention on this channel because you're not in the Premier League. But if you were, we'd talk about you a lot more. But Roberto Mancini, and I'm trying to find the article for you, has reportedly compared Wales to Stoke City. And of course, when Roberto Mancini was Manchester City manager, Stoke City were in the Premier League. Gareth Bale has apparently responded to this comparison with Stoke City. Here is the original article. So this is what he said. Mancini obviously spent 3.5 years at Man City between 2009 and 2013. And this is what he had to say at his news conference today. Stoke had a very tough style of play. They were very tough. They were a very tough nut to crack. It will be a very difficult match from a physical perspective because they are a powerful side like Stoke. Makes me want to laugh. And I used to live in Stoke, and the people in Stoke love their football. Whether they're Port Vale fans, whether they're in Burslem and support Port Vale, or whether they were where I was, which is Hanley, and they were massive Stoke City fans. That's where I used to live. If you know Stoke, if you know the 6 towns of Stoke, Hanley and Burslem are worlds apart. But yeah, Mancini went on to say, it will be a very difficult game from a physical perspective because they are a powerful side like Stoke. But they are also very technical. Wales have players like Joe Allen, Gareth Bale, Daniel James. They have got some quality and skillful players. So Roberto Mancini comparing this current Wales team with that of Premier League, or former Premier League club, Stoke City, when they were in the Premier League, and he was obviously Manchester City manager. Gareth Bale has since weighed in on this, comparison with Stoke City. I wonder if Gareth Bale will end up joining them, the great Stoke City, after his Real Madrid contract is done. I bet Stoke City fans are like, hey, we're getting a fucking mention at the Euros now. That's great for us. Gareth Bale has cheekily dismissed comments made by Roberto Mancini after the Italian boss likened Wales to championship outfits. He's not comparing them now. He's not saying that the current Stoke team are like the Welsh national team. He's saying that the Stoke side that were in the Premier League when he was Manchester City manager were a tough conundrum to crack, and Wales will be a tough team to crack. It'll be a tough nut to crack. Quite frankly, though, I'm not expecting Robert Page's side to play the fucking 11 men behind the ball that Tony Pulis used to play. Because Tony Pulis only played defensive football. Kept Stoke City in the league, and then they got a bit too big for their boots and ended up being relegated because they got rid of him. If they had just kept him, they'd probably still be in the Premier League. Maybe. I don't know. But they got rid of him, and they got relegated. What a weird comparison. To compare the Welsh national team to Stoke City. What a strange comparison. Wales, of course, face Italy tomorrow. And knowing that a win will secure them qualification to the last 16. A lot of these third place teams are going to finish on 4 points. It's going to be very interesting to see. Oh, that third place thing makes this so much more interesting. It makes it less cut and dry. I love it. Love it. For the pros and cons of it, I think it adds a little bit more tension and a little bit more drama. Although to the game management side, it adds a little bit more defense. Kind of, let's secure 4 points and see where we go. If we have 4 points after 2 games, we're probably going to go through. I hate that side of it, but I do like the kind of speculation and drama about who's going to finish third. So that's my thoughts on that. But if Wales, I don't want to say they're not going to win because I'd love them to win. I'd love Wales to win, but Italy are already through. They're on 6 points. If Wales win, they'll be on 7 and go ahead of Italy, but Italy are already through. So I've already said that I love the way that the Italians play. That press is why can't England play like that? Why can't England just press the ball like Italy? Sorry, I'm going flashbacks to after the Scotland game. Loved it though. Love the Italian press. Cannot wait to watch the Italy-Wales game tomorrow. But will Wales play long ball football? I don't think they will. I think Wales will see it as a challenge, and I think they'll go for them. I think you'll see the occasional long ball. Will Gareth Bale turn up? That's the question. If Wales are gonna win against Italy, and I'm not saying that they will, it might just be enough for Italy and Wales to draw, because Wales will be on 5 points. It might be enough for Wales to draw. It very much depends on what happens with Switzerland and Turkey. Turkey are already out. We know that they are not. Well, I say they're already out. Well, no, they are. They are. They're unlikely to get through to the last 16, finishing third if they beat Switzerland because their goal difference is just so poor. But obviously, Switzerland are expected to beat Turkey, who have had a pretty poor Euro 2020 campaigns thus far. But that said, if you're a Turkish player or a Turkish coach, or that you're a Turkish fan, then you're going to go and want your team to play. Well, they've got nothing to lose, so they might as well just throw everything by the kitchen sink at them, which I think is what's going to happen. I'm backing Turkey to beat Switzerland. Which means that if Wales get a point against Italy, in fact, if Turkey beat Switzerland, Wales can lose to Italy and still go through. So, I don't know. I think Wales, if they're lucky, get a point, and I'd love to see it. Honestly, I would love to see Wales win. I really would, but I don't think it will happen. If they get a point, I think you ask the Welsh fans, the majority of them would say, get a point, get through. But I genuinely watch as Switzerland decimate Turkey 5-0 after I've said Turkey could win that, because my predictions have been absolutely well, maybe they've been bold, but they've also been wrong on plenty of occasions. So those are tomorrow's matches. Italy versus Wales and Turkey versus Switzerland. So, what do we talk about here? Well, let's have a chat about staying with the European Championships. Let's talk other Euro news, and we have to talk, unfortunately, about when... Well, let's talk about Scotland. The Scotland fans are now beating a slow retreat from London after what they see as a victory, and it is. It is a victory. And now it's... yeah, they've got a point on the board and potential to get through. Could England, Scotland and Wales all be in the last 16? I obviously don't think so, but Scotland can beat Croatia in their final game. Totally. As we look ahead to tomorrow's games, I will bring you the stats in the Stat Man. Bum-ba-da-bum. Skibidi-bidi-dip-da-da-da. I'm the Stat Man. Ba-da-ba-da-bee-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Anyway, sorry. Let's get you some match facts then. Because... and if you're thinking Wales have never beaten Italy, you might be wrong on that. You are definitely wrong on that front. This is the first match between Italy and Wales at a major tournament, believe it or not. The Azzurri have won 7 of the 9 meetings with Wales, winning the other 2. The most recent encounter was a Euro qualifier in Milan in 2003, with the hosts winning 4-0. Robert Page started for Wales as Filippo Inzaghi scored an 11-minute hat-trick. It took him 11 minutes to get a hat-trick against Wales. Jesus. Italy are unbeaten in their last 29 games. If they avoid defeat, they will equal their all-time record longest undefeated run of 30 games set between 1935 and 1939. They've also gone 965 minutes without conceding a goal. Good luck, Gareth Bale. And if Wales avoid defeat, they will have made it out the group stage, as I was saying, in all 3 of their appearances at a major tournament, having done so at the 1958 World Cup and, of course, Euro 2016. Wales have lost just 1 of their past 15 competitive matches, March's 3-1 defeat to Belgium in a World Cup qualifier. And Aaron Ramsey has been involved in 6 of the 13 goals Wales have scored at the European Championships, scoring 2 and assisting 4. I assume that also includes 2016 as well. So yes, there we go. Let's look at the stat man get some stats for this Turkey Switzerland-Turkey game. Actually, before that, I want to bring you the squads news, and I'm trying to find out who may start for Wales, because I don't know about you, but squad information has been very slow to leak out of these teams, especially with England, where there always used to be leaks. It's more leaky than anything else. More leaky than Swiss cheese comes to mind, but why would you be putting water in Swiss cheese? 'Cause, it's got a lot of holes in it. Just trying to find out who could start, but there isn't. Here we go. Team news. Wales and Italy are, in particular, are expected to make changes for their game in Rome. Page has hinted he might manage the workload of some players who were fitness concerns in the build-up to the tournament, such as midfielders Aaron Ramsey and Joe Allen. Defenders Chris Mempham and Ben Davies, and striker Kiefer Moore have all received yellow cards at Euro 2020, or 1 yellow card away from a suspension. While Italy With Italy's with Italy's place already guaranteed, Roberto Mancini is considering making considerable changes to his team, as many as 5 or 6 changes. With captain Giorgio Chiellini out injured. Remember, he looked to have pulled something in his leg, maybe a hamstring or something, but it's not been confirmed as that bad. But it did look a little bit worrying for a guy of Chiellini's age. He's not a spring chicken anymore, so you do have to be careful with those sorts of things. Lazio's Francesco I cannot see. My vision is going. Acerbi is expected to take his place in central defence. Chiellini's injury is not thought to be serious, and he should be fit for Italy's last 16 game tie next Saturday. And PSG midfielder Marco Verratti is expected to return, whilst Chelsea's Emerson Palmieri could start if left back Leonardo Spinazzola is rested. So, you could also recall Andrea Bellotti and Federico Chiesa in order to give the likes of Immobile a rest as well. So expect changes to the Italian squad tomorrow. And for Switzerland, the team news is the Swiss should be fully fit, fully strengthened as well, with no injuries reported. Goalkeeper Jan Sommer flew to Germany on Thursday to see his wife and their newborn baby after their 3-0 defeat by Italy, having missed his daughter's birth but was back in training the next day. Turkey left back Umut Meraz will miss the game and could be replaced by Sassuolo's Mert Mulder. And Gunners says he plans to make the Turkish boss says he plans to make changes, especially in the midfield. AC Milan's Hakan Kalag I'm not going to say. And Fenerbahce's Ozan Tufan among players who could lose their places in the Turkish squad. Let's get you the stat man. Just give it I'm not doing that yet. Head to head. This will be the second meeting between Switzerland and Turkey in a major tournament. At a major tournament, their first encounter was in the group stages of Euro 2008. The Swiss, as co-host, lost 2-1 in that tournament. Turkey have won each of their last 2 encounters, with both victories seeing the Swiss open the scoring. Turkey have never won 3 games in a row against the Swiss. So they've won their last 2. They've never won 3. So that... You know what I said earlier about me maybe putting a cheeky punt on Turkey if I were you? Don't do that. Don't take my advice. That's the one piece of advice The one piece of advice you can trust from me is don't take my advice. The last 5 games between Switzerland and Turkey have produced 17 goals and an average of 3.4 per game. So I'm expecting 3.5 goals. So I don't know where the half is going to come from. Maybe he scores it and VAR rules it out. Maybe that counts as a half goal. Switzerland looking to avoid remaining winless in all 3 of their group stage games at major tournaments for the first time since Euro 2004. Their loss against Italy was their first defeat in all competitions in 2021. And the Swiss lost consecutive matches in October 2020 against Croatia and Spain. No player has made more passes, 153, and had more touches, 172, and made more tackles, 5, for Switzerland at Euro 2020 than their captain, Granit Xhaka. Turkey have lost both of their games at Euro 2020 by an aggregate score of 5-0 in a full tournament. Only Denmark in 2008 have conceded more goals without reply. Hopefully, touch wood, that changes. No, don't, Joachim Low. No, I don't want to see you touch your wood and sniff your fingers. No. Bloody German. Turkey have won their final group stage match at each of their last 4 appearances in a major tournament. That makes me feel better about my guess at Turkey might snatch this. World Cup and Euros since losing 3-0 against Germany at Euro 96. So They've always won their last game in the group, and from Euro '96 onwards. So the last time they didn't win one was Euro '96. They have not lost 3 consecutive matches in all competitions since November of 2010. They have faced 40 shots across their 2 Euro 2020 matches so far, more than any other side in Group A. And so looking tough. They're not built like Stoke City. They're not built like the Welsh, the Stoke City side. Let's have a look. The poll has finished, and in third place for your game of the day, with 10% of the vote, it's France 1, Hungary 1. In second place, with 30% of the vote, it is Spain 1, Poland 1. And with 60% of the vote, your winner, your game of the day from Euro 2020, it is Portugal 2, Germany 4. So that is your game of the day. Thank you very much for voting. More polls all the time on our Twitter page at TFFS Live. Thank you very much for watching tonight. And of course, this goes on YouTube as soon as we're done. So thank you very much for watching. Go watch our videos there. Just search for The Football Fan Show on YouTube. Why not come like us on Facebook? Give us a thumbs up, or if you're Coca-Cola or Heineken, you can email thefootballfanshow@gmail.com for sponsorship details. I will quite happily drink a bottle of Heineken or Coca-Cola or Coke Zero on camera and tell you how great it is, because I am a sellout and I need money to pay the bills. Come like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Football Fan Show. Our Instagram page is at The Football Fan Show on Instagram. Also, that's our TikTok account at The Football Fan Show on TikTok. So come follow us there. And on Twitter, it's at TFFS Live. I couldn't say it fast that time. It sounds like I'm saying DFS. No, not the sofa company, but their sale did end last year. But they've got a new one on. Be the end of the world if the DFS sale finally stopped. I think a pandemic stopped it. That is it for us tonight. Thank you very much for watching. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube or you're watching the replay on Twitch, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these. I'm very much enjoying doing them and very much enjoying nerding out about the Euros because it's lovely to watch. Coca-Cola, Heineken, hit us up. We'd love to arrange some sort of sponsorship. I won't say drink water. I will always say drink Coke. And that there wasn't vodka in there, was there?